You know the vibes, PVO, positive vibes only, FOE, family over everything, high vibrations. Hope everybody's staying focused, staying clear-minded, shooting all negativity down, focusing on yourself, protecting your energy, and mastering self. Self-determination, perseverance, awareness. Know thyself. It's so important for us to know thyself. Knowledge of self is everything. Today I want to talk to y'all about another iconic, powerful individual that you might not be aware of. A scientist, a copper color scientist at that. Without any further ado, we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to leave the link in the description if you all would like to do some further research on this powerful scientist. Percy Julian, an African-American chemist who was a pioneer in the chemical synthesis of medicinal drugs such as cortisone, steroids, and birth control pills. Who was Percy Julian? Percy Julian was a pioneer chemist who was not allowed to attend high school, but went to earn his PhD. His research at academic and corporate institutions led to the chemical synthesis of drugs to treat glaucoma and arthritis. And although his race presented challenges at every turn, he is regarded as one of the most influential chemists in American history. Once again, Percy Julian. If you are not familiar with him, continue to follow along through this video. I'm going to leave the link in the description, and I encourage you all to do further more research. Percy Levon Julian was born April 11th, 1899, in Montgomery, Alabama, the grandson of former slaves. He attended school through the 8th grade, but there was no high schools open to black students. So during this time, there was no high schools available or open to black students, so-called black students. He applied to DePaul University in Greencastle, Indiana, where he had to take high school level classes in the evening to get him up to the academic level of his peers. So he had to take high school classes in the evening just to get him up to speed with his other peers that were on his academic level. In spite of this challenging beginning, he graduated first in his class with I'm ready to fuck this up, with 5 Beta Kappa honors. I'm sorry, family. Life in academia. After college, Julian accepted a position as a chemistry instructor at Fisk University. He left in 1923 when he received a scholarship to attend Harvard University to finish his master's degree. Though the university would not allow him to pursue his doctorate, he traveled for several years teaching at so-called black colleges. Before obtaining his PhD at the University of Vienna in Austria in 1931. With his doctorate, With his doctorate in hand, he returned to DePaul to continue his research. In 1935, he earned international acclaim by synthesizing, I think it says psychostigmamine from the caliber from the calabar bean to create a drug treatment for glaucoma. But in spite of his success, the university refused to make him a full professor because of his race. So even though this brother was on his road, on his journey, he faced adversity. Later in his career, desiring to leave academia, Julian applied for jobs at prominent chemical companies, but was repeatedly rejected when hiring managers discovered that he was so-called black. Ultimately, he obtained a position at Glendon Company as the lab director. There he invented Aerofoam, a product that uses soy protein to put out oil and gas fires and was widely used in World War II, as well as other soybean-based inventions. Julian Julian continued his biomedical work, as well as discovered how to extract steroids from soybean oil and synthesize the hormones progesterone and testosterone. He was also lauded for his synthesis of cortisone, which became used in the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. Forgive me for the pronunciation on some of these words, family. Julian left Glendon in 1953 and established his own laboratory, Julian Laboratories, in 1958. He sold the company in 1961, becoming one of the first so-called black millionaires. Before founding Julian Research Institute, a nonprofit organization that he ran for the rest of his life. He died of liver cancer on April 19th, 1975. Recognition. In 1973, Julian became the first so-called black chemist elected to the National Academy of the Sciences. In 1990, he was elected to the National Inventors Hall of Fame, and in 1999, he synthesizes of psychostigmine was recognized by the American Chemical Society as one of the top 25 achievements in the history of American chemistry. So that goes to show you right there the type of influence that we've always had. We are innovators. We are creators. This man was one of the first so-called black millionaires. He invented a lot of different things. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the link in the description if you all want to follow along with this article. And you can also, I encourage you all to do some further research into this black chemist, the so-called black chemist, the so-called black scientist. Julian met his wife, Anna Rossell, while employed at Howard University, and the two were accused of having an affair while she was married to one of his colleagues. A scandal ensued and Julian was fired, but he and Anna married in 1935 and had 2 children. In 1950, Julian and his family moved to Oak Park, Illinois, after they purchased their home. But before they moved in, the house was firebombed on Thanksgiving Day. It was attacked again in 1951. Julian's life was the subject of a documentary film made for PBS Novia series entitled Forgotten Genius. So you can also check the link out. I'm not going to leave that in the description. I haven't came across that yet, but apparently they have a documentary series on PBS called Forgotten Genius that dives into a little more about Julian's life and his accomplishments. I highly recommend you all do a little, just take the time to do a little research on him, and as well as a lot of black scientists and black inventors, because we are more than just basketball and rapping. We are creative geniuses, innovators. I love y'all. Love, light, and unity. Stay blessed.